Let me tell you, you people, for the years I've been on TikTok, I have never been intensely interested or fascinated with a story like that submarine story. That submarine that got lost on Sunday, I have never been captured like this, I swear. I've been following all media houses, I've been watching TV, I've been catching up on TikTok, on the internet, on Google, everywhere, just trying to get updates on that story. I don't know why it has captured me, but so many things are unbelievable. And yet they happened. Like you guys. So these guys go into a small tube that takes 5 people. It's the size of a minivan. So what they want to do is they want to go down 12,000 feet, about 12,000 feet down, below the ocean surface. 12,000 feet is like about maybe 2.5 miles, 2.5, 2.3 miles. And that's like, if you're, let's say, if you're coming from city center to Wandegea. Now, city center to Wandegea, that distance, but you're covering it down, like down below the ocean. And what are they going to go and see? They want to go and see the Titanic that sank in 1912, more than 100 years ago. They just want to see it. So they sit 5 people, 5 effing rich people. They paid $250,000 each to go down there. Like, that's about 1 billion Ugandan shillings. Like, for me, you can even pay me 10 billion and I won't go. Pay me, not me paying. I won't go. But these guys paid 1 billion Ugandan shillings to go down there to see the Titanic, just to see it. Meanwhile, there are pictures of the Titanic everywhere. They could have seen it on, everywhere, but they prefer to go down and see it for themselves. It must feel good. When you're rich, you want to do the extraordinary things. So I do understand that. But these guys went into this submarine that the things about it are unbelievable when you hear them. First of all, it's controlled by a remote, like the remote controllers for PlayStations that men and children like to use. Yeah, that remote. And that remote controller costs about $40 on Amazon. And it has very bad reviews on Amazon. If you go and read the reviews, people say it's fake. Now, these guys who are paying $250,000 to go down there, they accepted to go into this machine to go down 12,000 feet below sea level using that controller, the PlayStation for children. Now, these guys, of course, they come on a ship, then they go somewhere in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, and then their submersible is let go to sink into the water. So while there are 5 people cramped up in that space, they can't even stand. They have to sit cross-legged and wait. They are locked from the outside. Like, this thing is bolted with about 17 to 18 bolts from the outside. So they cannot get out. They rely completely on the people on the outside to free them in case they need to get out. They cannot get out. They are going down 12. Oh my God. And then the only way they can communicate with the people on the ship is through text messaging, which is slow when you're underwater. So for every text, maybe they wait about 10 minutes, before they get it, or before the other people get it. Slow text messaging for guidance. And when they reach down there, they're not exactly going to look at the Titanic. No, they're going to watch it through a screen. So basically, they're seeing it just the same way as us. We see it on our phones. They're seeing it through a screen. I understand this submersible has a balance system that uses, those construction pipes, the plastic construction pipes, to balance. No, I don't want to laugh because people's lives, I don't know, they could even have died right now, because I understand They had 96 hours of oxygen because the journey takes 2.5 hours to go down there to reach, the Titanic, then probably a few hours to go around it and observe it, and then maybe, I don't know, about 4, I don't know how many hours it takes to come up, but it's slower. But anyway, in total, it was supposed to take only 8 hours, for them to go, see, and come back. But then they have extra backup of 96 hours of oxygen, just in case anything goes wrong. And now, the 96 hours they gamed it, I think today morning. So it's assumed that if they were still alive the whole time, then they don't have any more oxygen. So they cannot breathe unless they killed 1 or 2, to preserve oxygen. And it is thought that this thing has so many chances of failure, so many things that could go wrong. It lost connection with the ship, so they couldn't message, they couldn't know where they are, they can't track them, they can get trapped, by a fish net, they can be trapped in the debris of the Titanic that sank, and once they're trapped, they cannot come back. It has emergency, I don't know, what do they call it? Like in case of an emergency, maybe there's power failure, which they think happened, then it's supposed to float up. But then it can float to anywhere. And the Atlantic Ocean is so big. So all the guys in airplanes and on the ship and using all this sort of high technology to look for them are like looking for a needle in a haystack. So even if these guys are bobbing somewhere on top of the ocean, they cannot get out. Remember, they are bolted from outside. Only the people outside can save them. So they could just die just like that because nobody can open for them and they cannot see them. They've tried so many things. I understand there's only about 3 submarines that can go to that depth of the ocean. And so there's not enough submarines that can go out there. And even if these guys went down there and saw them, there's no way to pull them up. They cannot go and unbolt because, first of all, this thing is under, the deepest parts of the ocean. So even if you cannot open it. If you open it, the pressure will definitely just cause it to implode. And even if they got out, then what? They swim back to the top, So they've employed this robot called Victor. Victor is a robot that can go down there, and if indeed that submarine is there, it can try and use its arms to pull it out of the debris or, in the mud if they are at the bottom of the ocean. But that's all it can do. And that is just in case it finds them. At least we know for sure that they have run out of oxygen if all 5 were alive by the time the 96 hours came. These guys are billionaires. So there's this Pakistani billionaire who went with his 19-year-old son. Can you imagine? Then the CEO of the company, the OceanGate company that owns this submersible, is also on there. Damn. And then there's a Dubai billionaire, Hamish, is also on there. And then a previous Navy man that was commanding submersibles is also on there. So 5 great people are on there. Okay, we don't even know if they're on there. They could have died. We don't know. But I want money. I want to know what it feels like to be so stinking rich. I want money.